Hello everybody, my name is Kyline3639. Welcome back to another video. Today in this one is going to be another Why It Got Banned video, and in this one we're going to be covering why Guardragon Elpy is banned. Oh boy, we have a lot of history to talk about with this card. So in this video I'll be talking about the effect of Guardragon Elpy, and then going through the history of Guardragon Elpy inside the Yu-Gi-Oh metagame, and then the deck that got the card banned, and then why it got banned, and if it can come off the ban list as well. So we have a lot to cover, so without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Before we can cover why Guardragon Elpy got banned, we must cover the effect of Guardragon Elpy. So this is a Link 1 monster, Dark, with 1000 attack that requires 1 level 4 or lower dragon monster. So its effect reads, you can not special summon monsters except for dragon monsters, and then during the main phase, you can special summon 1 dragon monster from your hand or deck to your zone that 2 or more Link monsters point to. You can only use this effect of Guardragon Elpy once per turn. You can only special summon Guardragon Elpy once per turn. So basically it is a special summon from either the hand or deck to a monster, to a zone 2 monsters point to on your field, and it also locks you into dragon monsters while it's on the field as well. So yeah, that's the effect of Guardragon Elpy. Now let's cover the history of Guardragon Elpy. Now on to the history of Guardragon Elpy, and we do have a lot to cover, so I'm going to try to, go by it really fast, but I'm going to make sure I get the important points I want to cover in this as well. So it was released on February 1st, 2019 in Savage Strike, along with all the other Guardragon archetype cards in that set as well. And it immediately sees play in Crusadia and in Danger Thunder Dragon decks, Elpy and Agripane. I got to specify Agripane as well. It was played in Crusadia because Crusadia did have a dragon monster in its rank, so making just a Link 1 Elpy was always a nice play. Get a dragon out of from your deck. And then Danger Thunder Dragons also use it because, well, they're dragons. So, making like an Agripane and also special summoning, Elpy getting from deck is also very, very good in its archetype. And the Elpy was pretty broken as well because Agripane existed, and Agripane was able to special summon a dragon from the extra deck, and Elpy did count for that special summon. So, they're both played together in most of these decks. They also did see play in Endomayan decks and even some Orcus decks later on in the year. Now, Orcus is because, well, this is when Nightmare Mermaid was still legal, so any 2 cards basically just got you into Mermaid, which basically got you into full Orcus combo. And then Endomayan decks did play because they did play dragons in their deck, so making Elpy and getting another dragon from the deck was also just very, very good for the deck. Elpy immediately just sees play straight away, but in October 2019, it avoids that ban list, and Guardragon Agripane takes the hit instead. Konami thinking that being able to special summon any dragon from the extra deck was just too powerful, so they ended up banning Agripane instead of Elpy, so Elpy avoids the ban list in this time frame. So even after the banning of Guardragon Agripane, Elpy still sees play because it's just that powerful of a card. Still sees play in Endomayan decks and also still sees some play in the Thunder Dragon decks as well. But in January of 2020, Heavy Metal Foes Electromite gets banned, and also Thunder Dragon Colossus gets banned. I forgot to put those in there. That is my apologies. But those get banned, and the 2 decks that were using Elpy now no longer exist because their power players are now out of the format. Now, even after the ban, Elpy finally gets inserted into the deck we all know and love as Dragon Link. Now, there was called the Rocket deck at the time, but eventually becomes the Dragon Link that we know and love. Now, this deck has existed since the Rocket deck, Structure deck got released in 2019, but, there was more of a more powerful Thunder Dragons. It was more powerful, and also in the Endomayan decks, it was more powerful. But it finally gets inserted into the Rocket decks that would become Dragon Link. And also in March of 2020, Crystron Halka Fibrax gets released, which gives a huge boost to Dragon Link as well, being able to just a special tuner from deck. And, with Dragon Link getting to see more power, Elpy's going to see more play and get that free dragon from the deck as well. Now in May of 2020, Link Ross is released in Yugioh, and this is very, very, very powerful. Not only in Dragon Link, but just across Yu-Gi-Oh! In general. Halka Fibrax Link Ross combos was the absolute annoying thing and was the best thing you can do in this meta. It is not the best deck though. Dragon Link is not the best deck because Adamantipator was still a good deck thanks to Block Dragon still being legal and stuff like that. That's until September of 2020 when Block Dragon is banned because Adamantipator obviously was the best deck in that format, but since Dragon Link did not take a hit in that list, Dragon Link becomes the best deck in the format, alongside with Infernoble Knights as well. It's so powerful. It's so powerful. Its end board at the time was basically being able to, you know, set up an extra deck lock alongside with a Savage and an Apollousa and stuff. Very, very powerful. Dragon Link becomes the best deck in the entire format, especially with the Hulk and Link Ross combos still existing in the format. So just making Dragon Link just one of those most powerful decks in this format. Probably the best deck in that format without a doubt. That's until December of 2020 when the next ban list got released and the bans were Link Ross and Destruction Sword. Now, Link Ross, of course, being a part of the powerful Halka Fibrax Link Ross combo, very much hurt the Dragon Link deck, but also hurt the Infernoble Knight deck as well. And then the Destruction Sword hit was also very, very, very powerful because that was basically a free extra deck lock with the Union Carrier still being legal at this time. So Destruction Sword getting banned also did hurt the Dragon Link deck. But Elpy does avoid this list. They think Link Ross and Destruction Sword was more of the problem with Dragon Link, so that gets banned instead. In this time, it's still a decent deck, but Virtual World, Drytron, and Outledge basically takes over the next format. Virtual World having VFD and Drytron just being absolutely ridiculous with Ben 10 at 3. Absolutely was ridiculous. You know, those two decks were better than what Dragon Link could be, even though Dragon Link was still a very decent deck. But that was until March of 2021 when the next ban list came out, and then VFD was banned and Ben 10 went to 1. The VFD ban basically just killed Virtual World because that was the only thing Virtual World basically had going for it, and now VFD being banned basically makes it a dead deck. And Ben 10 going to 1 was absolutely crucial as well because Drytron still did not have their consistency cards because Mubeta and Diviner were not released yet at this point. They were playing Manju and Union Carrier to basically go alongside with that. But in March 2020 as well, Union Carrier got banned. So that basically effectively hit Drytron enough where they had to wait for their next support before they can become a good deck once again. So with the best two decks out of the format, Dragon Link becomes the best deck again because, again, it was already decent and they did not receive a hit. And with the best two decks getting hit, this basically just elevated it to being the best deck in the entire format. There was no competing with it until basically the end, until basically the next ban list eventually came down. And that's when Elpy finally got banned. But we must cover the deck that got it banned. So let's go take a look at what it looks like. And this is the deck that got Guardragon Elpy banned. Now, this is actually Max Thomas's list from the Remote Duel Invitational Swiss rounds that actually got first place in that tournament. Now, I do have to say Swiss rounds because in the knockout rounds, he actually got eliminated, which is unfortunate, but this is his first place finish in those Swiss rounds of the Remote Duel Invitational in June of 2021. Now, this is a very typical list. This is just playing 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Gamma, and 3 Infinite Impermanence. You know, playing the LP, playing 3 Striker Dragon, because it was at 3 at the time. And, you know, just playing very consistent things. 3 Chaos Space, playing 3 Tracer, 2 Synchron, 1 Recharger, and 1 Abso. Now, at the time, it was actually more common for Tracer to be played at 2, but he decided to play Tracer at 3. You know, the World Legacy Guardragon also being in here to help facilitate Guardragon Elpy was also very important and why it's in this deck right now. Very, very consistent deck. Also playing Tidying as well, just for that Chamber Dragon Maid as well. So this is the deck that got Guardragon Elpy banned. Now let's get into some combo, just a typical combo for this deck. So now on to the combo portion of the video. This is just to show you what this deck can do, and we're going to assume we're not playing against any negation. We're assuming they just have no hand traps, and we're going first. And this is just to show you what the deck can do. And also, another notification, I'm probably not going to play this deck optimally. Dragon Link has always been a notoriously hard deck to play, with multiple lines being in the deck as well. So I'm just going to try to do my best, but I'm probably ain't going to play this as optimally as I can. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, this isn't a great hand, but we can do it. We can do it. We'll go ahead and normal summon the black metal. We'll link it off into Striker Dragon. We'll go black metal 1, Striker 2. And we'll go ahead and get the Boot Sector and then Red Eyes from deck here. Then we'll go ahead and banish the Striker Dragon on field to special summon the Metal Dragon. And then we'll go ahead and actually activate Ravine here. We'll trigger Ravine here. We'll pitch the Chamber Dragon Maid, and you know what? We will pitch the Chamber to send this Brotar here. And then we'll go ahead and do Metal Dragon effect to summon out this Brotar. So we can actually do Brotar's effect on field, targeting the Darkness Metal Dragon. We'll discard this Tidying. We'll actually search a Tracer off here as well. Honestly, probably sending Apso was probably better. I mean, this gets the Chamber and Tidying and get that play live, I guess. We'll go ahead and go into a Link 2 here. Don't need Romulus because we already have the Ravine, so we'll go ahead and make the Heavenly Dragon, or the Erratic Seals of Heavenly Spheres here. And we'll go ahead and then go and activate the Boot Sector launch. And so activate, we'll trigger its effect to summon the Tracer and Recharger from hand. Drawing Recharger isn't great, usually is a brick here. And then we'll go ahead and go into Elpy here. And then we'll actually make Pisty as well here. We'll go Elpy effect here to go ahead and special summon from the deck. You know, the main reason why we're making this video. We'll go Elpy to special summon out this Starliege. I'm not even trying to pronounce this card. And we'll trigger this card's effect to add a probably white dragon here. We don't really, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Either one works. Either white or black does work here. And then we'll go ahead and do Pisty effect to summon back this Tracer from the graveyard. And then we'll go ahead and get the Pisty and Elpy off the field just so we can get the Dragon lock off our field. We'll make this Romulus just because it's something we can make that is a dragon. So we got the Dragon lock off our field. We're not locked into Darks either yet. We haven't triggered Tracer's effect yet. So we'll go ahead and do this Chamber effect, banishing himself to special Chamber, and then we'll do Chamber effect to get out Tidying here, because we are playing 2 Tidying. And then we'll go ahead and special summon a White Dragon Wyvern Burster. We'll banish Elpy just in case we actually like mill a Chaos Space off this, or like, because we're going to make a Ruler in the future, Pepega Ruler. So if we can get like a Chaos Space off Pepega Ruler, we can get Elpy back into the extra deck here. Now we'll actually make Apollousa here just because we're not Dark or Dragon Lock now. So we'll go ahead and make this Apo, get the negations on the field. And we'll trigger the White Dragon Wyvern Burster to get the Black Dragon Collapse Serpent from deck. And then we'll go ahead and actually trigger Tracer now since we don't care about being locked. We'll target the launch, special summon out the Rocket Synchron from deck. And then we'll go ahead and special summon Black. We'll banish... This doesn't matter. I guess we'll banish the white because we probably want the Sapphire in the graveyard. And we'll go ahead, and this is where we're going to make this Pepega Ruler. So we'll go Pepega Ruler. We'll go ahead and do mill 5 here. We'll mill 5, and oh my god, Leviair. We will take that Leviair any day. We don't want to add Gamma or Synchron to hand, so I guess this does work. I mean, we can also do, I think we can do this effect. Banish the card, target a level 8 or dragon in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So I guess we don't need to do this. Well, we'll actually do, I guess we'll get Synchron here. No point adding Gamma. And then we'll do the Saphir effect to add back Leviair. Let me just make sure that's how we do it. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target a level 8 or light or dark dragon in your graveyard, add it to hand. Yep, Leviair works there. We'll go ahead and yeah, this works. We'll make these two into the Hot Red Dragon Archifiend Abyss. And then we'll go ahead and special summon the Levier. We need to banish all darks to shuffle a random card your opponent controls. So we'll banish Black Metal, Pisty, and I guess Synchron doesn't matter as well. To special summon Levy, then Levy effect will being able to shuffle one card from their hand back into the deck. So this is actually pretty nice end board here. We'll set the timing. So this is the end board. We'll have the stills for a bounce. We'll have Hot Red Dragon Archifiend Abyss to be able to negate anything on the field. We have Apollousa with 3 materials, so being able to negate 3 monsters. And then a Levier. This is worthless right now, but being able to shuffle a card from the opponent hand. So they're playing with a 4-card hand, drawing into 5. You know, it's better than drawing into 6. We can actually do timing effect to return Levier back to hand and have that as a follow-up as well. So this is a very, very nice end board. So now let's get into why Guardragon Elpy was banned. Alrighty, before we actually get into why it got banned, we got a last history slide here before we get into why it got banned. So in July of 2021, Guardragon Elpy gets banned and Striker Dragon goes to 1 as well. Again, they were very abusable in the deck. You know, we just saw Elpy being able to special summon from deck. Striker Dragon being at 3 was kind of ridiculous, just having that free Link 1 for the Dragon Link deck. So they do limit Striker Dragon in the next ban list. But the funny thing about it is, even with these hits, Dragon Link still sees play after Elpy is banned, and still sees play to this day. It did very well in the North American Nationals, which happened a couple weeks ago. This deck is just refuses to die. The Link becomes that deck that just refuses to die. Yes, even with the Elpy ban, even with all the things that have gotten hit with the deck, this deck is still playable and still probably a very good deck to this day, which is just the funny part to me. So now let's get into the reason why Guardragon Elpy is. So why did Guardragon Elpy get banned? It was basically because of the simple fact that it was a Link 1 that can special summon from the deck. Now, some of you might be going, no, it requires a little bit more setup than that. And you are true. It requires more than just a Link 1. You need another Link monster that points to the same zone that either Elpy or another Link monster points to the same zone. The only problem with that, it wasn't that hard to set that up, especially in Dragon Link. It was not that hard to set that up. You basically just do your plays and it ends up happening anyways, especially with Pisty and Striker Dragon both being a Link 1 that pointed to separate arrows as well. It just was not that hard to set up whatsoever. You saw in the combo video, I was basically able to set up Pisty and Elpy to both get their effects as well. It just was not that hard to do the combo for it. So that's the reason why it did get banned, because it was basically just too easy to set up Elpy's effect. It was just too easy to set up and get the special from deck. Now, I also could put in here that Dragon Link was the best deck at the time, so they don't wanted to hit the best deck. Now, I don't want to do that because that's basically a cop-out answer, and also can be, you know, half the reason why half the cards on the ban list are banned currently. But another reason why I didn't want to do that is because at the time, people didn't actually think Dragon Link was the best deck, especially since Lightning Overdrive got released. Drytron got their new support, Dinosaurs got their new support, and especially Tri-Brigade got their new support in that set. A lot of people were thinking at the time that Zodiac Tri-Brigade was better than Drytron, but so that's the reason why I didn't want to put Dragon Link was the best deck, because there's multiple reasons why I didn't want to put there. But mainly just because it was just too easy to set up Elpy and doing it special summon from the deck. Just way too powerful, so they decided to get that off of Yugioh. So, can Guardragon Elpy get unbanned? Not anytime soon. Like I told you in the history part of the Guardragon Elpy, Dragon Link is still playable to this day. It's still a very consistent deck that's still a tier 2 and above. Even I would still say tier 1 deck at this point. So giving it Elpy back is just unthinkable. Maybe in the near future when Dragon Link finally falls off the map, maybe you can put Elpy back, but as of right now, there's no reason why you would want Elpy to be unbanned, especially with Dragon Link still being a deck that is playable to this day. So that is it for the entire video. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content on the channel, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.